Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. All right, getting ready to start. I teach at a community college, getting ready to start the next semester in about a week. I'm going to be teaching a class, Calculus 1, another class, Calculus 2. Plus, I may look for tutoring gigs, right? And I was reflecting on why I allowed myself to get walked on all over in times past. I mean, I do have a dream job compared to where I had been years ago, but even then, I don't always take the best advantage of my circumstances. And so I often get walked on all over. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, and I was thinking. I came up with two issues. Number one is that I don't always have the best of circumstances. And so when something happens to cause unease at the workplace, right, on certain grounds at the workplace, I often don't have good circumstances to be able to say what I want to say or to act the way I want to act, right? We call it acting our wage or whatever. A lot of times I don't have a good foundation to stand on in order to act my wage, right? And I want to change that. That one's going to take a little bit of time to accomplish, obviously, but the other one I can immediately work on. I often have a weakness. I get myself inappropriately attached to others at the workplace, of either gender, by the way. And as a result, I don't want to put my foot down, right? So I was teaching at in Seattle, Washington, and I had colleagues who wanted me to fill in for all sorts of wacky. COVID was going on at the moment, and when we returned to the office, a lot of times. So one time, one of my colleagues, I was living out of my car at the moment in time. I'm not afraid to say that. One of my subscribers laughed at me that I was giving financial advice. You know what? If I didn't follow some sound financial advice, it can be a lot worse, right? I got to be thankful for where I am, right? I'm better off than probably 90% of the world population, and even within the United States, I'm probably not that worse off, right? And I was living out of my car. My colleague had called me really early in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock. I think this was November. So I normally don't like to wake up until the sun is out because in Seattle it can get freezing in the early morning. But I picked up the phone and she told me how she had a house repair emergency of some sort. And I had a gym membership, went to the gym to take a shower, and then I headed to the campus. And you know what? I really love my job. I don't like the logistics of doing my job, but I really love the core elements of my job. I'll get to that in a moment. And so I really didn't think much of it. I got done with the students, and so I texted my colleague to wish her well with their home repair, whatever it was. And then it hit me. She and her husband, and they've been married for some time. They got two incomes. And that's a big reason why they can even own that home in the first place, probably, right? They own a $2 million home, and they're calling upon me, who lives in my car, and it woke me up at 7 in the morning when it's freezing out there. I did it right. And I shouldn't have even kept my phone on. I hate waking up when it's freezing out there, but I did. And then I came in for them. And for what? Right? And the problem is that I had weird feelings for her. And sometimes that weakness, she's married, by the way. But it's such a weakness of mine that I need to get over because if I don't, I'm going to bleed all of my resources away. Anyway, two matters that I want to one that I can immediately start working on. The other one might take some time to build up to a critical mass. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.